Hi everybody, this is Boog-ass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the brand new Neca Ultimate Evil Dead Ash and Cheryl 2-pack. So before we take a look at Cheryl, let's go ahead and take a look at Ash and all of his accessories. So first up you get this grave marker, and this is sculpted very well. The wood actually looks kind of realistic the way it's sculpted. It's just cast in the same color as this dirt, but everything else is painted over top of it. You get some twigs and leaves. That looks really good. Up next, he comes with his axe, and this looks really good. You got some nice sculpt detail to the handle there with the wood grain, and the blood that's printed on there looks good. It looks like it's both painted and printed, from where it fades into where it looks like it's drying, so that looks really awesome. Up next, you get an alternate right accessory holding hand for holding the shovel, and the shovel. And man, this is painted really, really well. Especially the bottom right here, it's cast in gunmetal with some dry brushing of silver, as well as some nice blood paint there on the end. That looks really good. Up next, he comes with an alternate right hand for holding the chainsaw and the chainsaw. And this is sculpted very well, and I love the paint detail on it. The blood splatter on the end here looks fantastic. On both sides, the blood looks really good. I just wish that this hand would have been on a hinge instead of a regular swivel. I definitely think it would have benefited from having a hinge. And finally, you get the alternate side-eye head sculpt. And this is an incredible likeness of Bruce Campbell. Neca did a very awesome job on that. And I think it looks even more like Bruce Campbell than the last one did, which I thought the last one was a phenomenal likeness. But yeah, this one looks really good. And the printed details for the bruising there on the left side of his face, that looks very awesome. Neca did a very good job with that. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at the bloody head sculpt. So taking a look at the bloody head sculpt, this is another phenomenal likeness of Bruce Campbell. Neca just did a very, very awesome job at sculpting that. And the paint detail is just as good. The blood is both printed and painted on. It uses solid paint and printed on blood. And I think that looks really good. The combination of both looks fantastic. The bloody paint apps on this look really good. And you can see that his hair is also covered in blood. It has that gloss coating of red over top of it. You can see the little strands of hair sticking to his head from where he has so much blood on him. And that looks very awesome. Neca did a very good job on both head sculpts. So taking a look at the body mold, it is exactly the same as the previous Evil Dead Ash Ultima. The only difference is we get the torn pants leg, and of course the bloody paint apps. But I did want to show them side by side. I mean, it would make sense to reuse this mold. Of course, the major difference though is with the blood splatter paint. And Neca just did an awesome job on that blood splatter. The glossy red just looks very good. You even get some splattered back here on his back, as well as some paint variation over top of the wrinkles. It's like a brownish color. So yeah, that's very awesome. You even get some paint variation over top of those on top of all of the bloody paint apps. He has some excellent sculpt detail to the pants. The texturing looks really nice. And of course on the left side you get the cut and tear in his pants. It's soaked in blood. Like you can even see his sock right there that's soaked in blood. That has some really awesome sculpt and paint detail to it. And I also love how it looks like the blood has ran down here onto his shoe. That looks very awesome. And on the right side, you get a black wash over top of that. So yeah, that's painted very nicely. This whole thing is just painted phenomenally. All of the bloody paint apps, and just the little variations you get like on the shirt and the shoes looks really good. So now, let's go ahead and go over his articulation. He has a ball-jointed neck that can look up all the way. Can look down just a little bit. He can move his head side to side very nicely, and all the way around. He has shoulders that can only move out that far. I do wish they could move out just a little more. He has single jointed elbows that can bend in all the way. He has swivel wrists that can move side to side and up and down. As I said, I definitely wish this would have been hinged. I think he has a ball jointed diaphragm and waist. But because of the shirt, it's pretty hindered. It just moves side to side and back and forth just a little bit. He has ball-jointed hips that can only move out that far. He can kick forward just a little bit. He can kick back all the way. He has a very nice thigh swivel. Single-jointed knees that can only move back that far. And ankles that can barely move down, barely move up, and slight ankle rocker. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at Cheryl and her accessories. So first up, she comes with her sketch pad, and this has the drawing of the clock on it, and that's done very well. I think it's just printed on, but that looks very awesome. And one thing that I did not expect is you can actually unpeg this and reveal this drawing where she takes the pencil and starts scratching it into the pad. You can see how the paper's all torn up there. That is so awesome. I really did not expect that. Whenever this fell off, I thought I broke it. But no, you can actually unpeg it and reveal that. That is incredibly awesome. Up next, she comes with this pair of semi-relaxed hands. Up next, she comes with her grappling hands, and these have the texturing on them from where she's become possessed to match the head there. I love that little subtle texturing you get. Up next, she comes with an alternate left pencil holding hand, and the pencil is just cast to the hand there. I think that was a good move because any of the pencils that Neca have done have been very thin and easy to lose. But that looks really good. You get some nice bloody detailing to that. That scene still makes me cringe. It is very well done, and I'm happy that Neca included this as an accessory. Up next, she comes with an alternate right accessory holding hand and the fire poker, and that looks really good. It's a very thin, fragile feeling accessory, but she can hold it very well. Up next, she comes with her further possessed head sculpt, and man, Neca did such an awesome job at all of the details on this. This face is textured really nicely. The skin looks very dead and gray. You get a bunch of different tones printed on, like the shading around the eyes and all of the blood and scratches. That looks really good. Her hair is a different color as well. It's got some nice variation over top of it. Man, that is just detailed very, very nicely. And finally, she comes with this head sculpt from when she starts deteriorating, which is still an amazing practical effect. It's just done really well. It's really gross. And Neca managed to capture that very well. The skin's starting to deteriorate. You can see her brain showing through right here. The hair color's changed to gray. Just all of the places where the skin's starting to fall off and bubble up. That looks really good. And all of the different tones that are printed over top of the face there. It's like a weird grayish color. That looks really good. Neca did a phenomenal job on all of these head sculpts. Like I said, I think that really captured that moment from the film very well. So now let's go ahead and take a closer look at her standard head sculpt. So taking a look at the standard head sculpt, I think Neca did a fantastic job at capturing the likeness of Ellen Sandweiss. It looks just like her. The hair is sculpted very, very well. I think it's cast in a darker brown and has this light brown paint over top of it. And that looks really good. And all of the different tones that are printed on the face there, like where her skin is starting to gray around the eyes right there, as well as the cuts and the bandage on her head. All of that looks incredible. Neca did a very awesome job on all of these head sculpts. They really brought their A game with this pack. Her shirt is sculpted very well. All of the wrinkles look very realistic the way it's laying. I couldn't get over that when I opened this. It just looks really realistic the way it's sculpted. And the blood on it looks really good. Neca did a very awesome job on that. Even just the sculpt detail to the back right here looks very realistic. You also get some subtle textures there. It's very subtle, but you can kind of see it in the light between the wrinkles. That looks really good. And even the pants look really good. You get a very subtle paint variation. It's like a grayish color over top of that. And that looks really good. There's really not much to go over with the rest of the figure. She does have a little bit of sculpt detail to her shoes. But this figure just looks really nice. Neca did a very, very awesome job on this. So now, let's go ahead and go over her articulation. She has a ball-jointed head that can look up all the way. She can't really look down that far. She can move her head side to side and all the way around. She has shoulders that can move all the way out, single-jointed elbows that can bend in just about all the way, a hinge on this wrist, the accessory holding wrist, and the rest are just regular swivels that move up and down and side to side. I do think she has a diaphragm joint, and she can crunch forward just a little bit. That ripped right there when I did that. So that sucks. Man, I'm going to have to glue that so that doesn't rip anymore. I went to move that, and that ripped. So yeah, don't move that joint at all. She does have a ball jointed waist that can move side to side and around nicely. She has hips that can do a complete split. She can kick forward very slightly and back very slightly. She has a very nice thigh swivel, single jointed knees that can bend all the way back, a swivel up here in the shin that moves side to side, ankles that can move down very slightly, up very slightly, and they rock very slightly. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up here, they are next to the previous Ultimate Ash figure. This is from the Evil Dead as well, but this one was from, I think, like 2021. Here they are next to the Ultimate Evil Dead 2 Ash figure, which I do think needs a redo. Here they are next to the Walmart exclusive Ultimate Ash. I think this was from when Walmart first started carrying NECA figures. And finally, here they are next to the Ultimate Ash versus the Evil Dead Ash figure. And I really need to get some Deadite figures for my collection. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up because NECA did a phenomenal job on this. These have to be two of my favorite figures from this year so far. NECA just did a very awesome job on this set, and it is worth every penny. The likenesses to both the actors, the sculpt detail, the paint detail, everything is very nice on the figures, and I really didn't have any complaints. The only real complaint I have is the shirt on Cheryl split a little bit. But other than that, this set is perfect. So definitely pick this up. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.